Welcome to Speak English with Energy.
Hello, and welcome to Speak English with Energy.
I'm Lisa, and I'm here with Victor. Let's talk about confidence in English.
You know, speaking English confidently is like a superpower.
It can be really tough, especially when you're not sure about your grammar or vocabulary.
I remember a time when I was speaking English in a meeting. I tried to make a point, but my words got jumbled, and I felt really embarrassed. After that, I realized I needed to work on my confidence, not just my English skills.
That's such a great point, Victor. Confidence can make all the difference. When you're confident, you're more likely to take risks and try new things in English.
Exactly. And that's what we want to explore today, the confidence trick that fluent speakers use.
So, let's dive in and find out how we can all become more confident English speakers.
I remember a time when I was speaking English with a native speaker. I was trying to explain a complex idea, but my words got all mixed up. The native speaker looked confused, and I felt my face turn bright red.
Oh no, that sounds really tough. What did you do?
Well, I took a deep breath and tried to simplify what I was saying. It wasn't easy, but I managed to get my point across eventually.
That's great. It's all about learning from those experiences. So, how do you think that experience helped you build confidence in your English skills?
It taught me that, even when I make mistakes, I can still communicate effectively. And that's a really powerful feeling, knowing that you can express yourself, even when you're not perfect.
Absolutely. And it's something that our listeners can learn from too. By focusing on the message, not just the words, we can become more confident speakers.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to explore in more depth today.
So, let's look at some practical tips for building confidence in your English speaking skills. One common misconception is that fluent speakers never make mistakes.
That's right, and it's simply not true.
I mean, think about it, even native speakers slip up sometimes.
Exactly. And what matters is how they recover from those mistakes.
So, let me share an example from my own experience. I was in a meeting and accidentally used the wrong verb tense. But instead of freezing up, I just laughed it off and continued with the conversation.
That's a great example, Lisa, and it shows that confidence is key. When we focus on communicating our message, rather than worrying about perfection, we become more confident speakers.
Absolutely, and it's a mindset shift that our listeners can apply to their own language learning journey.
Now, what if our listeners are worried about making mistakes in front of their colleagues or friends?
Well, that's a great question, Victor, and it's something we can all relate to. Maybe we can explore some strategies for building confidence in high-stakes situations.
That's a fantastic idea, Lisa, and we can dive into that in our next segment. One practical tip is to focus on the message, not perfection.
That makes sense, Victor. Can you walk us through how that works?
Well, I was in a meeting where I had to give a presentation. I was so worried about my accent that I forgot to breathe. But then I remembered that my colleagues care about the ideas, not my accent.
And how did that realization affect your confidence?
It completely shifted my mindset, and I was able to focus on the message.
That's really helpful, Victor. What about a common mistake to avoid?
One mistake is trying to use perfectly grammatical sentences all the time.
Because that can actually make you sound less natural, right?
Exactly. And it can also make you more self-conscious.
What about role plays? Do they help with confidence too?
Yeah, role plays are great for practicing real-life conversations. Like ordering food at a restaurant or making a reservation.
Those are perfect examples, so relatable and useful.
I remember doing a role play in class once, and it really helped me. We practiced negotiating prices at a market, and it was so much fun.
That sounds like a great exercise. Did it improve your negotiation skills?
Definitely. Now I feel more confident when bargaining at markets.
Can you give us an example of a successful negotiation?
Well, I once bought a souvenir for half the original price.
So, what can our listeners try this week to build their confidence?
They can practice speaking without worrying about grammar or perfection.
And just focus on getting their message across. That's a great tip.
So, to sum up, our main points were about being yourself, not trying to be perfect, and focusing on the message.
That's right, and I think our listeners will really benefit from remembering those points.
One key takeaway is that fluent speakers aren't worried about making mistakes all the time.
And that's so freeing because it allows them to just talk and connect with others.
Now, for an actionable tip, try speaking for 5 minutes without stopping to think about grammar.
That's a great exercise because it helps you find your natural flow and rhythm.
Exactly. And it's okay if you make mistakes. The goal is to just keep talking.
I've tried this before, and it really helps you build confidence and fluency.
So, give it a try this week and see how it goes. You might be surprised at how much you can improve.
And don't worry if it feels weird at first, just keep practicing, and you'll get the hang of it.
See you next time on Speak English with Energy.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep speaking English with energy. See you in the next episode.